Well, it's great to have Hugh Newman back with me. Hugh is a researcher, explorer, and now author extraordinaire. Hugh, thanks for joining me again.
Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
So, Hugh, you were just posted a photo recently of you and JJ and maybe some others at what is known by some as Noah's Ark. So I got a bunch of questions for you on this, but kind of just give us the backstory. Why were you at Noah's Ark, and what were your thoughts?
Yeah, this is controversial to say the least, but this is a site it's near Mount Ararat, so it's near Van or Lake Van in eastern Turkey, almost going towards Armenia. Really, we were actually, this was part of our tour we did in September. We're doing this kind of eastern Turkey, Garden of Eden kind of tour, and this is the biblical location of where Noah's Ark was supposed to have landed in the biblical tradition. This is it, on the edges of Mount Ararat. This isn't actually on Mount Ararat itself. It's on the next bunch of mountains just next to it, and you can literally see Ararat just behind it. And it looks like it's like 500 cubits long, something like this. And that's if you work it out, that's what it said in the Bible. There was a researcher back in the 70s, did a whole thing about it, claimed it was Noah's Ark. Some people say it's just what's left of a geological anomaly, which you get, these strange shapes that look like kind of almonds, or, like this kind of shape, like a Vesica Pisces, the middle of a Vesica Pisces thing. And, but it's huge. And, he's claimed, this researcher, I forget his name 100%.
Wasn't it Ron Wyatt?
That's right. It was Ron Wyatt. Yes. Thank you for correcting me there. And he was there in the 70s and 80s doing a ton of research. He claims to have found wood, like rotted wood or fossilized wood. He even claims to have found metal particles as well. And he found all this other evidence that the measurements, the placement of it and everything else proving it was Noah's Ark. It even went through the government officials, and they agreed it was Noah's Ark and did a big opening, created a visitor center there, which you can still visit, all the photos and everything that's up there. And a lot of people still think it's really Noah's Ark, but we had a geologist with us, and he was saying no, he doesn't think so. It's very unusual geology, which just happens to match the dimensions of Noah's Ark in the Bible. So there's still controversy about it. Some people still claim it is the remains, the remnants of, Noah's Ark. Others say no, it's geology, but the jury's out. But we had to go there and have a look, and so we luckily we got access to it. We climbed all over it. I got permission to fly my drone up there, so I got some nice shots of it with Ararat in the back, and it really is compelling because it's like, firstly, you're in this biblical area. It really is the Bible area. This is it. This is like Garden of Eden. This is where Noah's Ark landed, the floods receded, and everything else. And so, it kind of brings out this kind of magic when you're there, because you get this real sense of these biblical traditions. But at the same time, your scientific brain kicks in, and you're kind of asking many, many hard questions, trying to get your head around it. But yes, fascinating place. I mean, if you do go to Ararat or you do go to Van, it's worth the effort to get up and have a look for yourself and make up your own mind.
So they allow the public to go into this site and go up and touch this formation?
You can get near it, yeah. They let you walk down. There's a visitor center up on a hill, and you walk down into this valley where it kind of is, and you can get close to it. You're not supposed to walk on it, but they don't really mind so much. You just do it anyway, and it's fine. But yeah, that's it. You can actually literally go and visit Noah's Ark. So I kind of kept a kind of open mind and sort of was feeling the magic of the place a little bit, because there was something special about that whole area, having never been there before. And there's also nearby, there's some of these standing stones that are called the anchor stones. And these are found in the local villages. They're now used as gateposts. Some are in the middle of village squares. And these are quite large stones, a few feet tall, with holes carved through them. So people believed, Ron Wyatt, one of them, that these were the anchors of Noah's Ark. That's why they got the name the anchor stones. But they're also, if you go back, these are also traditional Armenian gravestones. That's one of the other associations with them. You actually find similar things like that at the site called Karahunj in nearby Armenia, which is a massive stone circle complex with avenues coming off it over the border in Armenia. So yeah, there's debates about all the different aspects of this, but it's a fascinating area.
I'm glad you brought up the standing stones. Yeah, I did a deep dive on this a few years back, and I found those photos, and they clearly look like giant anchors, giant ancient anchors. Because your normal standing stones that we see in Europe that you're very familiar with, they don't have giant holes in the top like, a massive rope or chain went through them, right? So they clearly look like massive ancient anchors. So you've got these anchor stones nearby. You've got the exact biblical location, right? Mount Ararat, which the Bible says is where the ark stopped once the floods receded. So you've got it in that area, and then I've seen research that said it probably slid down the hill, on glaciers over the eons of time. So you've got the location, you've got the exact length of the ark mentioned in the Bible, and then, oh, by the way, this thing looks like a ribbed boat. I'm not a geologist. I haven't seen it up close like you have, but to me, this could be the Noah's Ark. I don't want to say it is because I haven't been there. I'm not a geologist. But again, from what I've seen, from all those pieces of evidence, and then the fact that Ron Wyatt and others were given permission to pull core samples, they found like these giant, like you said, metal, not bolts, but metal rivets that seem to have been holding the wood together or something. So any other thoughts on that? And are you going to post a drone video featuring this?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to do a video. Yeah, I kind of, when I was there, I kind of recorded quite a bit talking about it in the little museum they have there and at the site. And yeah, I'll be making a video for sure. Yeah, it's a difficult one. I mean, it's like one of them places that, I mean, half the guests were really liked it when they were on our tour. The other half were going, "Why are we here, Hugh? Really?" So there's like a bit of a kind of split when it comes to visiting sites where it's that controversial. But I've got to be honest with you, if you're gonna, it's worth going anyway because it's a beautiful area. You get to see so much more in the general area. Next time we're going to go and find the anchor stones, actually have a look at them, because even if they're just megaliths with holes carved in them like Armenian gravestones, are very, very interesting nonetheless. But yeah, I mean, you look at the evidence, you look at all the data Ron Wyatt and others have put together since I think Ron Wyatt passed a few years ago, and it's compelling. You have to admit it is a compelling story, and it's lots of little very unusual coincidences kind of linking up, if it isn't Noah's Ark. So yeah, so it's well worth checking out.
And one more question on this. So like, again, if you see a drone's eye view or photograph of this, it definitely looks, like the ribs of a boat. Up close, did you see anything protruding or anything that gave you a sense that this was just more than a natural formation?
It's just the unusual shape of it. It didn't make sense because we hadn't seen, driving there for like 2 or 3 hours from Lake Van. It's quite away from there. Didn't see anything that looked like that in the area. I mean, I'm not a geologist. I don't know the area that well. It was my first visit there. It's Andrew's first visit as well, and JJ's. So we were kind of just going along with like, oh my God, just documenting what we could. You just seeing the kind of, the skeleton, what's left of the kind of, it looks like there's loads of mud and like rock, just formed into this shape, but it's just a very unusual sight. Yeah.
Well, Hugh, as we close here, tell people how they can follow you best, how they can get your book and all that good stuff.
Yeah, sure. They can just go to megalithomania.co.uk or search for Hugh Newman. They'll find me. This is all over the place, the book. It's in America, I think you have to buy it through Amazon.co.uk for some reason, but it gets sent out from within America anyway, so it's the same. And it's published by Wooden Books. You can check out the woodenbooks.com website. And yeah, obviously, we've got a big YouTube channel, Megalithomania UK, social media, various platforms, and we just encourage people to kind of take a look and actually consider coming out to Turkey, because this is very fascinating time to be going out there. We even go to Noah's Ark every September on that Eastern Turkey tour.
Great stuff. Well, Hugh, thank you so much for your time today. This is a great interview. Always enjoy talking to you and hearing the latest news, and we'll do this again in the near future.
Thanks very much. I appreciate it. It's been very, very interesting.